Say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. First foremost, want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash Rakah. Double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well at Great Millstone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akyams in the four corners of the earth to push in the gospel and sincerity and truth. Shalom. This coming the next lesson to feed the elect of the nation of Israel, the 144,000, the one-third men, women, and children, and the confusion of faces that scattered in the four corners of the earth. Right? This article came out on the 1st of February 2018. Right? Yeah, the 1st of February 2018. Right? And this is Daily Star, and it said Russian woes to defend against U.S. plane flying towards border. Right? So scripture saying Isaiah 13 that the Most High say can stir up the Medes against them. Right? So this will be seeing the Medes today is the so-called Russian, and also the Russian are Edomites and the Americans are Edomites. Right? So these two Edomites hate one another. So the house can't stand. That's how they can fall. Because if a house divided against a house, it shall fall. Right? It cannot stand. And this is beautiful news. Right? It's Russia has called on the U.S. to stop sending military planes on mission near its border in the wake of an unsafe interception that has sparkled a blazing row. Right? It said the U.S. military should stop flying planes near the Russian border or agree on a set of rules for such flights. Russian Defense Ministry has said in a statement today. Right? He said a dispute has erupted over the interception of an EP-3 Ares surveillance aircraft by a Russian Su-27 flanker jet over the Black Sea on Monday. Right? He said dramatic footage released by the U.S. Navy showing the Russian fighting jet appearing to fly perniciously close to the U.S. aircraft over international airspace. Right? He said a sanction of the Russian jet, which came within 5 feet of the spy plane. So this was a spy plane. So they were spying on who? The Russians. He said was reprimanded by the U.S. Navy, calling the incident unsafe and unprovoked. But today the Russian defense minister had berated the U.S. in kind, vowing to continue to provide robust defense and a border, he said, of the borders of Russian airspace. So Russia does defend the airspace. There's the airspace. So look, this America, they do what they feel like. They set the laws, but they don't keep it. They do what they feel like. But this is beautiful because these Edomites going against Edomite. This is beautiful, right? He said if the realization, right, of this fact by American pilot caused depression and phobias, we recommend that the American side either exclude flying near Russian border in the future or return to the negotiation table and agree on a set of rules such as flights, the defense minister said. Right? He said Russia and U.S. jet flying for NATO regardless come into close contact over the Black Sea and elsewhere. So just heating up. Just heating up because they hate each other. You know, the Russians, they are Edomites, and the Americans, they are Edomites. So with the Most High seeking stir up the means against them. Who's them? America. And this will be seen right now. This can only escalate more and more. Right? This gonna escalate more and more. You understand? This is exactly what's going on there. You know, this can escalate more and more. You understand? Yeah. The Russians, they're gonna start the Most High can start the means against them. Yeah, so it's NATO today deployed a Tiro of submarine killer plane to a task area near the Russian enclave and Kaliningrad. Right, so we check this for the enclave, right? Let me check up this word enclave. You know, in Kiev, right? Enclave, right? They say a country or especially an outlying portion of a country entirely or mostly surrounded by a territory of another country, right? So this with these American do is say the enclave, right? I mean the surround what by Russia day, right? That's why they send out these spy jet, right? This is gonna only escalate more wood in the fire. I can get heater, and you know what I mean, and they can trigger off, right? Got the most I say, the most I see, he can stir up the Medes against them. So the most I can put a spirit on the Medes to destroy America. Edomite destroying Edomite, right? It said using such flight as an example, the defense ministry said NATO planes do not affect the Russian crews in the slightly way, right? He said the maneuvers of the Russian fighter jet on January 29 were standard, absolutely legal, and perfectly safe for the American civilian plane. It said when fighting jet conduct similar maneuver towards Russian military plane on patrol over the Baltic of he said no we gain the north or any the slightest way, right? He said the scolded Russia for putting air crew in danger by flagrantly violating existing agreement when attempting an unsafe intercept of the EP-3 Ares aircraft. He said the Russian Sub-27 flew directly through the flight path of the EP-3 during an interception that he said that lasts 2 hours and 40 minutes, right? He said this is the of Russian military activity disregarding international norms and agreements. It's Helter Neuter, a spokeswoman for the U.S. State Department. We call on Russia to cease these unsafe actions that increase the risk of miscalculation, danger, air crew on both sides, and mid-air collision. Russian Ministry of Defense in Moscow, its fighter jet crew strictly in accordance with international rules during the mid-air saga. In a statement, Moscow said the jet was preventing U.S. plane from violating Russian airspace. So it was violating the Russian airspace, right? And these devil proud. These devil proud Americans, they're real proud, you know. So, but this is beautiful news because the Most High seeking stubbornly means against them, right? and both of them is Edomites. The Russian is Edomites, and Americans, they are Edomites, right? This is Matthew chapter 12. And Yahweh shall speak this parable when the Pharisees came against him, right? When he was casting out these devil, and they say he's Beelzebub, the prince of devil, right? So Yahweh shall use this parable against them, saying, if Satan cast out Satan, how shall the kingdom stand? And this is the parable right here playing out, because the Russians, they are Edomites, they are Satan too. They are the devil, right? The Russians have two missiles named Satan 1 and Satan 2. Coincidence? That's not a coincidence that the name of the missile Satan 1 and Satan 2, because they are Edomites too. But these Edomites in Russia hate the Edomites in America, because the Most High put a spirit in them to hate each other, to destroy themselves, right? And that's why Yahweh shall use this parable, you know. This is Matthew chapter 12 verse 25. And Yahweh shall knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided is brought to desolation. And yeah, you Edomite kingdom gonna be brought to desolation. You Edomite kingdom is gonna be destroyed, right? Because this is you kingdom, and y'all can't even live at peace in your kingdom, right? Because the Russians are Edomites, and you Americans are Edomites. You Europeans are Edomites, right? It's and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Yes, so if it divided against itself, you can't stand. You're gonna fall, right? 426. And if Satan cast out Satan, the so-called white people are Satan, you are adversary. You are adversary against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You are adversary against his laws, against his people. The Most High people are the so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native American Indian, right? You so-called white people are adversary. You are Satan, right? He said, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. Yeah, and the divided. That's why the Most High put Russia to destroy America. And then Yahweh shall gonna return and destroy all the military. You Russians gonna be destroyed too, right? He said, and if Satan cast out Satan, he's divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? Yeah, how shall his kingdom stand? Right? So the Most High can let you Edomites destroy yourself. You understand? That's why the Most High bless you death with the sword, because he can destroy your own self. The scripture says, he that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. And you Edomites gonna die by the sword, because it's your blessings, right? The sword is your blessings, and you're gonna die by the same sword, right? Because this is how you live. You live by the sword. This is how you go around conquering nations, by violence, right? This is Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. The Medes, who today is Russian, they dwell in that land, right? They convey the land from who Japhet. So the Medes, they are the Russians today, and you are Edomites too. You're gonna be destroyed, right? You Russians gonna be destroyed, right? It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Them is who America, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. They're not going to delight in your gold. They're not going to delight in your riches. They're going to destroy America. He said, verse 18, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. How the bows? What bow? Not speaking about Arab bow, speaking about the ICBM missile. That's what can dash the young men into pieces, right? And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. Their eye shall not spare children, right? So the Most High seeing and stir the Medes up against America, Satan against Satan, right? Verse 19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdom, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai overthrew Sodom Gomorrah. And this is exactly what's going to happen, you know. This is exactly what's going to happen. And like I say, you know, you Russians going to be destroyed too, right? So the Most High going to use you to destroy yourself, right? The Most High going to use you to destroy yourself. You understand? This is yeah. That's exactly what happened to you, you devils, right? Get this one quick. This is this is um Exodus 39:1. Therefore, thou son of man, prophesied against Gog, and say, thus said the Lord, power Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So the Most High against you Russians too. The Most High gonna destroy y'all. But what the Most High gonna use the Russians for do? Destroy America. And then when Yahushai return, you're gonna destroy all these military, Russia, China, South Korea, Africa, India, Iran. The Most High gonna, Yahushai gonna destroy all these military, right? You understand? You can destroy all these military. This Jeremiah, right? This Jeremiah 50, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 3. For out of the north cometh up a nation against her. Who coming out of the north? The Russians, so-called Russian. They are Edomites, right? They are Edomites, right? Against who? Against America. He said before. He said, this is Isaiah, Jeremiah 50:3. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her. So the nation coming out to the north is the Russian, and against her is America, which shall make our land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast, right? Both man and beast, right? I jump down to verse 9. He said, for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country. So Russia is one of them, right? Gonna destroy this devil. Turkey, the next one too, that in the prophecy to destroy America, right? Iran, Ethiopia, right? Ezekiel 38, right? That gonna destroy America. So this is beautiful to see, you know, that they're provoking one another, right? They're provoking one another, right? He said this, Jeremiah 50:9. He said, for lo, I will store up, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nation from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. He said, from hence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. The arrows is what? The missiles, right? The arrows, the missiles. We're going to destroy this devil, right? That's exactly what happened to this devil. The arrows is the missiles, right? And like I say, you know, you Russians going to be destroyed too, right? The Most High going to destroy you Russians. You understand? This is back in Ezekiel 39:11, right? It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of grave in Israel, the valley of the passager on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the nose of the passager, and they shall be buried, and they shall bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon Gog. Right? Yeah, so you Russians, you are gonna be destroyed. The Most High can destroy your army, the Most High can destroy all your power, your sword, your weapons, right? You are gonna be destroyed, right? So if Satan stand against fight against Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? This is you Edomite's kingdom. The earth is given in the hand of the wicked, right? You Russians are not Russians, you are Edomites. Right? Let me close off with this one here. This is Jeremiah 51:11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The arrows is the ICBM missiles which the Most High create. The Most High is who put in them scientists' head to make these missiles. Right? Matter of fact, let me bring it out. You know, let me get that. This is Isaiah 56. Right? It's the Most High put it in just now. Yeah. Isaiah 54, 16. He said, behold, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. So a smith in the ancient time was what? A smith, someone used to make sword and spear. And today a smith gonna be what? A scientist. So the Most High say he created the smith. He gave them the technology to build these missiles. Right? Behold, I have created a smith to blow the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth the instrument of his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. And them ICBM is to destroy. Right? And that's how you devils going to be destroyed, because your blessing is a curse. He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. Right? And that's how you Edomites going to be destroyed. Right? Jeremiah 51:11. He said, make bright the arrows, right, which is the ICBM missile, gather the shield. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua had rise up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, which is the Russians. Right? He said, for his devices against Babylon, America, to destroy it. So if Satan divide against Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? Right? So the Most High going to destroy you Edomites. Right? He said, for his devices against Babylon, which is America, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the vengeance of his temple. Who's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai temple? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Not no fucking church and no building. It's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You are Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai temple, and the Most High going to destroy all our enemy. Right? And this is beautiful to see this. Right? This is not no joke. You Israelites who pussyfoot and taking this for a joke, you're going to be caught up in these wars. You're going to be destroyed. Because America, the land of America going to be invaded by these military, these armies. They're going to invade America. Right? So this is beautiful news. You know, our praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. He say you're going to stir up the spirit of the Medes against them. He say you're going to do it, and we're seeing it. Right? And with that, open lessons edifying. We want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well at Great Millstone. And a blessed sanitation to the Akiams in the four corners of the earth who pushing the gospel and sincerity in truth. Shalom.